Hello folks, welcome back to what is going to be another game in what has been an interesting event so far. Of course it is the Pets Challenger series. Joined this one a little bit late, but it is what it is. We are of course just going to make it through and pick up where we left off, I guess is the easiest way to finish that sentence. I'm not sure where we were going with that, but we were going somewhere, but here we are. 4-0 of course. This is going to be the interesting one. Seeing if Elements Pro Gaming can actually just run away with it in similar fashion to a lot of the other games we've seen tonight, or if it's going to be a bit more of a closer game. Of course, Nova Esports, their opposition. The likes of Zabay, 666, Artemoson, Hardwell, Pixon, and Tegbith. Over on Elements Pro Gaming, you got Nickelback, Zoma, Cree, Hooch, and Aliens. You got some known names on Elements Pro Gaming, right? If they're assuming they're the names that I think they are, and they're not just clone names, then you have some Hooch, of course. Nickelback potentially, but I think Nickelback wouldn't be from CIS actually. I think he was CIS minor, so I'm curious now if these are the same players I'm thinking of. Well, utility, simple flashes, nothing too crazy. Alien actually just open the door, look towards the center of sight and finds a pick on towards Pixon. What a way to start off the round as well. Of course, that'll prompt the ace to come on out. Hooch going to be getting aggressive. He takes down Hardwell. Zabay trying to hold down his sight, desperately so. Finally, got the second shot on Alien. That is nasty stuff. But how much more can he do? A 3v3, of course. He holds close on towards Fork, waiting. Free to come wandering on through, and which he will, gives himself up effectively. Unfortunately so, Artemoson pushing through the flames. Zabay given pick after pick. Artem going to get aggressive. Zabay just shuts them down. It's an ace play from him. 5 kills with the AWP, of course. Nova Esports, their first round on the board. Of course, hoping that first round acts as a bit of a launchpad for them as they build into this series. Certainly going to have to see how this one does play out. Double up setup. Going to remain in play. Nova Esports not one to shy away from a challenge, that's for sure. Taking a bit of close mid as well, actually, just to the right hand side of that mid smoke. Hooch trying to work his way through a couple of shots, but nothing really going to come of it. Meanwhile, of course, it is a simple flash towards B that allows a bit of aggression from the likes of Cree. That bomb though stuck over on, well, not stuck, but positioned itself into his door, which really isn't something that's going to be able to fall back from realistically once the fight is taken. So it'll be interesting to see just kind of how much Elements will be willing to commit. Whether it's this kind of pick-based play, use the AWP to try and force a fight towards quad, or whether they actually just use their smokes to simply cover cross, flash out, maybe even use a quad smoke as well, and just from there, try and overwhelm them. Need to make sure they flash us away as they try and cross and look towards Cat. That's going to be the biggest points in this round right now. Zabay is just not being shut down. On the site, standing finds himself 1, makes it to 2, finally going to be traded, but it's too little too late. The double up setup is pounding them into the ground. Zoma, to try and make this one work, has to go for the ace play, of course. Bomb on his back, sprinting over on towards that B site. 30 seconds to play with will definitely make it with due time to spare, but I like this from him, actually, just to see if he can go and look for something mid. Unfortunately, Artemoson just going to be holding the angle, shot to be missed, but Zoma unable to capitalize on that shot missed. Meaning he is still going to find himself in mid, making a whole lot of noise, and with vent being broken now, it's fully well known that it's a B play. 7 seconds left as well. I mean, has to try and get across, and that's a tough ask. Tegbis just not allowing that to happen. Nova Esports, their second round. So far, so good. Up to 2, of course, looking for their third. That setup from Zabay and Artemson just yet to be solved. Elements seem to think that the kind of door area over on A site is a key part of cracking this play. And it's interesting they think that, because that's a choke point for these Orcs every single time. I mean, and even when the Orcs aren't using it, the Rifles are using it as well. You just line them up, knock them down. It's so simple for them, just peek after peek. They know one player's towards Highway, now one's towards A main. They walk into the angles of the Orcs, and the rounds just simply flow away in favour of this Russian team. Alien would be exciting, but it's not going to be enough. Making it a 1v2 does not make it possible. Interesting now, bear in mind, it's been 3 rounds back-to-back for Nova. They finally started to really impact the economy of Elements, meaning that now they cannot afford to really do anything too crazy. If they buy up here, which they have done, and go for the pistols and 2 of their players, they're going to leave themselves with nothing to spare. So this effectively is equalization point they're playing for right now. It should go 5-5 if they do drop this round. So Elements have a fair chunk riding on this. Hopefully they break away from this door habit. You know, they've gone for it the past 2 buys, and it's just not been something too exciting. Still looks like they are using door, but maybe they can get away with selling a fake. I mean, just looking at how close Hardball and Co are playing, I think they'll have all the information they need. I guess we'll see. Of course, mid now being taken, the CZ's looking to see if they can catch off one of those Orcs. Not really going to pay off though. Elian, that's a little awkward trying to break the glass, but the Deagle just not doing him any favours at all. Necklace just holding for that push, but the important things here are they're getting picked apart bit by bit. The Orcs, yet again, just living up to the hype. Nade to go over as well will be crucial. Once they cross to the site, as that's going to do a little tidbit of damage. The Flames may well cover the cross, which they will. So it allows for a bomb plant. Advantage still in play for Nova. Artemson has to be careful not to swing too wide here. Take back, may capitalize on that hardball though. Able to find that headshot means Artemson will just swing out with the pistol and still wins the 1v1 anyway. And this is a good time to call a pause if you're Hooch. I think just take time to really decompress what's just happened the last 4 rounds back to back and why things are likely to go 5-5. Because when you take a look at Elements, you know they're starting to struggle. One thing we didn't notice and we didn't really discuss was the idea that actually they can just scrape out a buy because of loss bonus, because they've been losing these rounds cleanly. They haven't been kind of breaking in 1 or 2. It's just been 4 rounds back to back. They do have the loss bonus, which allows them to go for the AK, so that's fair enough actually on their part. Something that we didn't quite catch, but even then, like, they're missing out on a lot of utility on pretty much every player. So they're still in a pretty tough spot overall. And there's the point of utility right there. They do get the buy up, but what they get is 3 flashbangs, 2 smoke grenades. That's not a lot at all. Mid gonna be the point of contention. Elements looking to come out together, sending 2 players out through the bottom side, 1 up and above. Contact can be taken, but Artemson sneaking in a kill. Not long before a trade is clawed right back. Pixon taking a duel from Highway, but most importantly getting so much information before he then swings out wide. It's over. Bringing it right back into play as Nickelback finds the frag on the site. A high flash towards car gives him the time to cross as well if he wants to. It's ballsy for him to actually go for that, but fair play. Zoma left blind. Means Tegbis will find his head. The bomb being planted towards B is actually not half bad for Elements. It just depends on how quickly Nickelback can get to help him. Get there to help him. I mean, Artemson able to find that kill with the pistol. Thankfully, the bomb being planted for Nickelback kind of saves the day here. Angle is to be held. Spotted but shot to miss. When you have a rifle versus AWP and that's narrow and the AWP misses, the AK just gets that repeat. There's nothing you can really do at that point. Just pistols now, of course, to the CT side. Waiting curiously to see what exactly it is they're going to be able to achieve. Scrambling for a few opportunities in mid. Hooch nearly giving himself up. The Deagle striking at the standing of need. Where he just swapping out his rifles, he jumbles things around. Should be looking for that extra kill, and so he shall. It's very careful Nova side. They just don't really want to get too aggressive. They're holding very far back, just looking to see, okay, can we keep on getting these picks? Playing off the corner, but I like that from the AKs. They just pre-fire these angles. They know that if they're sitting close, they just volley a few bullets around. There's no chance in hell. They get the clean plant then as well. They get 4 players still standing. And they don't really have any risk of losing any of those as well, providing they don't do anything too crazy to Artemson. He is going to be holding, so may well get a fruity reward if someone does cross his way, but I just don't see that being reality at this point. Looks like he'll do just fine. Molly finding itself early on towards boost. Still is going to be the same sort of setups coming in from Elements, starting to find their groove again. Looks like mid is actually going to be the point of attack now for Elements as well. That's interesting. I mean, Pixon lurking in vent could well throw a wrench in the works. Molly actually going to land right at his tiptoes. That should push him back any second now. Actually didn't spread. That's huge. They have no idea. Finds one, goes for a second as well. Pixon with the vent play. The flames just do not spread to his toes. That is so beneficial to the CT side. And what a way to bring them back into this game. At 4-7, they needed a 5th round. And this is one way to serve it up to them on almost a silver platter. All they've got to do is hold on to this B site and the round is theirs. 28 seconds on the clock when this push comes in. Hooch taking down Pixon, relieves any presence towards mid. But still, the final pillars of the CT side rain onto this B site. They push on through Artemson, holding in his first crossfire, support from above. The B site has been held and the round is theirs. Elliot, all that remains, the EWP is not going to go down without a fight. Shot after shot gets itself kills so far, but from there it should just hold an angle much more passively, much more mobile as Nova will run down the clock and secure themselves their 5th. looks like we're going to see a bit more aggression towards A main this time around as well. That's telegraphed by the smoke flash combo. Thrown by Pixum. Tegbis. He's going to be a player to keep an eye on here, because if they do go back towards Vent, he will be that first kind of initial battle that will decide just how easily they get it. Because Hardball giving himself up on A isn't exactly ideal, and that will mean the bomb just stands its ground and starts to actually work its way out towards A main with the rest of the pack, instead of seeing what could have been a mid split or something completely different. What's interesting for Elements is they just go flying out through main without really any care in the world. I mean, that just gives these rifles, gives these orbs chances to, again, trade blows, start to work the numbers back in, but Nickelback is stepping up anyway. The headshot on towards Tegbis is so devastating. Elian with a shot on Artemsel as well. Means Elements will get themselves their 8th and ultimately reset Nova, meaning a 10-5 is very much on the table. I mean, just look at Nova. They're going to have to force into this one. I think that seems to be the play, just based on just how all over the place their economy is. I mean, that final round is going to be an excruciating one for them, providing they do lose this one, which is a bleak thing to say. I'm fully aware of that, but reality, certainly a fruitful point there. Already that initial kill, but nothing to be screaming about just yet. Nova still have some pretty significant weaponry in the forms of those tiny little pistols. You can never completely count them out. You'd be surprised. Through Zoma, looking to survive from forklift. Artemson pretty much sealing this one out as Kree just gets himself tucked in towards lockers. Tegbis diving around, does get himself that AK, of course. That's a nasty shot from Kree, but Tegbis is still going to land. Does he have time? I'm actually not totally sure now. I mean, 5 seconds left. I think he's just going to get away with it, but it is going to be close. Yeah, not too much in it, only about 2-3 seconds. But I don't think Nova are complaining about a 6-8. Especially considering Relay's element as well. Very much all over the place. A game that constantly goes backwards and forwards. Flashes coming off the wall towards B. Those Deagles just looking to see if they can find themselves ahead onto the likes of Tegbis, just down those long alleyways. And just winning the surprising duels there really is so important, because Kree just lurking in the shadows with his UMP will stop the drop coming in anyway. I don't think that duels really amount to too much, but nonetheless, keeping it close, keeping it competitive, it will be 9-6. on the upside, we get ourselves a nice and quick second half as well, which is very ideal. Kind of want to wipe the slate clean because we saw a lot of kind of really like messy, all over the place stuff in that first half. Weren't really sure what was going on a lot of the time. It was just a lot of kind of simple duels being taken, very wacky Counter-Strike to say the least. So it's nice that we kind of get to start fresh now, especially with that missing kind of the first like 4 or 5 rounds. We didn't really have a feeler for exactly what was going on, so it was a little bit disjointed. But let's see if we can pick things up, of course, going into this one. Keeping an eagle eye on towards the likes of Zoma, though. I mean, 13-10 already pretty good. Same goes for Alien and Kree. I mean, it's been a team performance overall from Elements outside of Hooch. 3-11. That is, yeah, buddy. That is not what we want. Same kind of goes for Nova, though. When you look at Hardwell, 4-14 in comparison to Zabe on 16-13. Nonetheless, it is going to be the A play. The Rocks come running on out. They find themselves 2 easy kills, just spamming in the back of the heads they go. Elliot trying to see if he can maybe tap them down from a distance, doing what the USP certainly does best. And you know what, fair play to him. It's actually worked out pretty well. He got the initial kill. They do have to eventually push up close and personal, and that's where Hardwell actually start to step into the game and out of the shadows. Kree just being ever so exciting, I think, is the fairest way to describe with his pistol. I mean, getting that headshot towards Fork is actually pretty beefy. Problem is, they still have to push sight, and with Kree being so low, that's just not a second kill you want. Nova, 7-9. They should leapfrog them as well, up to 8 as well. I mean, you consider Elements being a team with not a huge amount here, just flashes, raw pistols. Nova, this should be a matter of just them loving the simple ones. It looks like they finally invest in the final few minutes. 2 of them do at least, but even then I'd say this should be relatively simple. Nice little bit of A main control. Taken by Nickelback. It's going to be tapped back though by Hardwell. It's a little problematic, but actually winning out the duel in the end as he just strays to the right hand side, finds himself the head while he's at it, and that leads to the initial kill. Thankfully, it looks like Nova have kind of found their stride. Pixel and Zabe take this, ooh, kind of adding to that. As it is just Soma. A kit on his back, a CZ in his pocket. No Kevlar to protect himself. And is all that remains of the Elements Pro Gaming team. We'll catch him on the exit too, so there's a win-win really for Nova. Just keeping it clean for the most part, only losing Hardwell early on, but I mean, it could be worse at the end of the day. You just want to make sure that you have 1 or 2 players really acting as the bank. They have 4, so it's really not the end of the world. They can also keep this round clean as well. They can send Hardwell and Zabe aggressive with these SMGs just to really make up for lost money as well. So there's multiple different facets you can run down that can make things okay again for Nova, really. Slow and steady play from Elements, this time just a full eco, so not really going to be screaming about this one either. Just going to let it unfold. Hopefully we do see SMGs get aggressive. Okay, who's getting that kill really just should like never happen. These pistols always just surprising as they like kind of fool away from angles, like strafing, manage to find themselves like headshots or something. It's just mad. But at the same time, not to take that away from Hooch. That's a pretty sick shot. Like, it's good damage as well. Still tapping away, but these pistols may well be trusty as anything, but they have a bit of a range limitation. Not really equal to the AK-47, to say the least. But either way, this is the one we're waiting for, and they go for the double AWP again. Okay. I like this. The double AWP comes out again in the second half. Hooch and Elian, the two players to wield it. Let's see what they're going to do. I mean, is it going to be the AB setup? Are we going to be seeing one in mid? You know, will Hooch step up? I mean, 4-14. Is this his way to start to perform? I mean, I don't know. The way to get him back in this best of one. Looks like it is just going to be them running out onto Jose anyway. So Nova just kind of got the right play to deal with the double AWP setup, in fairness. Just taking this aggressive contact on towards the site. And it's working out so well. Tekbis finding himself the headshot on Zoma. Nickelback responding with not only one, but a second as well. And if he gets on the bomb right now, he could find the defuse before they can even get to him. And Artemsov just panic. Has to run on forward. That gives up another kill. At this point, you just stick it. Zabay gonna push on up. Oh no. Still sticking it. What is this round? He gets an AWP at least, so there's that. At least he gets that. Zabay taking out Hooch for the quick and easy early AWP shot. Those elements really punish just down to how much they invested into that previous round. It means that there are a lot of Famis's here, a lot of low util. Made even worse by the fact that Zabay was able to find that initial one-on-one. That's a good flash. Not only following up the pop flash, but then peeks it as well. Finds the second kill on towards Artemsson. So one pop flash just really proving what it can do to you there. If you use it right, that's a double kill for you. Hardball not quite aware that Kree was there, so you know, gives up the chance to push ahead and take the lead in this 3v3. Zabay boxing in this CT side. Nickelback trying to hold on vent, but will break free. Molly towards heaven will allow for the perfect cross. And then the plant should come through. Surprised they haven't planted open, but clearly just a little cautious. Meaning that Kree has a little bit more flexibility to play with there, because now Pixon isn't really with his teammate. Thankfully though, because the CT push should make things simple as ever. That's really what we see. 10-10. Much tougher round for Elements to hold on to here. Just these pistols. Once again, looking to scavenge the map for any sort of success. Hunting for a few opportunities out on towards A. That's the first target, but as they get aggressive, also gets sent back in a casket. On set of blaze too. The squad is going to be burnt asunder by a perfectly placed molly. Highway also going to be completely destroyed by these AKs just tapping down anyone that peeks around white box, leaving just Hooch. Fortunately for him, nothing he can really do. I mean, this will be the best of one lead for Nova, 11 to 10. He can push up if he wants, but this position from Dartinson should mean he can just flick to the right and shut him down. Unfortunately, not only 11 to 10, but 12 to 10. May well be the scoreline when you just look at what elements are really opting for here. Kind of boxed into it, of course, by their economic scenario, but doesn't make it any less ideal. Already doing a pretty good job of keeping it clean. Zoma is able to actually surprise us. Nickelback taking down Tagbase as well. That's actually already kind of success. No matter what happens now for elements, they found themselves 2 kills, right? And that's always the benchmark for an eco. 2 kills and then seeing, okay, maybe you can find a bomb plant or something like that if you're the T's. But I think they're happy no matter what happens now. See if you could save a weapon, of course. That's, you know, obviously the silver lining of any eco. It's always a huge ask. Either way, it is 12-10, so no, they aren't going to be complaining too much. Oh, Cree, buddy. That is unfortunate. Down to 36 HP just for the fact that he stood next to a metal railing. You just hate to see that. Zabay flicking back, taking down Nickelback. The smoke actually gonna allow them to. Actually, no, it doesn't allow. I was gonna say it's a positive, but no, it's not. Zoma actually is in a great position. The Orbital shot from Zabay does land and put him down low. Oh, the second no scope as well. Zabay, can you get any more insulting right now? Just literally no scoping kids out the server. Fair enough, buddy. Fair enough. Just pistols yet again for elements. Running down to the wire now as it will likely be 14 to 10. Nixon even going to molly Nickelback out of position just to ensure he gets the kill. I mean, Nickelback, the fact that he actually puts him down to 14 HP with that molly being used is almost kind of embarrassing for Pixon, to be honest. And then gets the kill as well. You hate to see that. Hardwell just going to be looking to see if he can get around this corner, work his way actually close towards B main, and ultimately just be able to take this fight into that checkers area. Just got Kree just sitting tucked in behind the box, waiting to surprise you right when you least expect it. Thinks that someone's going to come over, but they will in fact come around, which gives them the jump. Unfortunately, we'll be able to flick to them and shut them down off the back of that. Hooch, meanwhile, on the back of the site. Similar sort of storyline, except that he's not really got, you know, too much he can expect. He kind of knows where they're going to be coming from. It's just always tough, right? You're getting pre-fire, that sort of thing. Got so many players running at you. I mean, really, the dream is pretty much dead. Bomb, of course, going to find itself taken on down. Alien trying to see if he can save that AK. Lose the pistol, save the AK, priorities in check for Elements, but only 2 more rounds left for them to spare. Really have to prove that they have what it takes to compete in this best of 1. And yet again, it's a double up setup that comes out to play, Hooch and Alien. Hooch, bear in mind, last time we had this was on 4 kills, still on 5 now, so still a very quiet game, unfortunately. Don't want to harp on him too much individually, though, as the same point still stands for a lot of these guys as well. They've all been very inactive overall. I think that's just testament to, you know, certainly struggles in their team play, just getting caught off guard. An interesting angle by Hooch, but one that's at 1-for-1 comes through. Elliot pushing back a little bit in favour, and Kree actually taking down Zabay. Pulls an advantage for Element. Will be interesting though is Tegbis. Does he decide to go towards Vent or come through B main? Takes the vent fight. As long as he checks it, it should be good. And there you have it. Finds the fight. Finds the headshot. Now can clear off vent. There you go. Dropping towards checkers. Just going to be sure Molly's it out. I like that. That's smart. Bear in mind, it's a slow rotate from Alien. Anyway, problem is, Hooch is the AWP, right? So he's just holding the angle. And also going to hold the angle. Oh, Artemson. That is nice. Very, very quick stuff from him. Flash to come through. Crossing back towards that B site. This should be a plant. How does Alien approach the round, though? Do you hold an angle? Do you expect a peek? What's the sort of textbook play that you're reading into? If you're Artemson, do you peek? You give him anything? There's your answer, apparently so. For Elements, though, winning that 1 round may present more harm than good. We've seen what happened to them in the past when they made something work on their CT side. They were instantly shut down, and that became a streak that was 5 rounds back-to-back for Nova. Bear in mind, they need just 2 to actually win this game. So far, so good, though. Nickelback taking down Artemson is the perfect start for Elements. They look to show a little bit of consistency on their CT side. Nickelback just spotting towards mid-bomb, constantly checking behind him on beat. Listening for the sound, most importantly. That's one of the biggest things you get out of being a mid right there. It's not just the visual cues, but you actually get so much sound. It's nice work being done by Alien, able to find Zabay as he tried to go for this kind of jump boost across, and it just didn't really work out, did it? Molly towards quad, but no one checks MBK. Mistake that was made that Hooch then effectively doubles his kill for the game there, and then off the back of that, I mean, that's 2 kills, but also a chance for a 3rd. Tegbis changing that slightly, but it is still going to be the same narrative in the end. The final nail in the coffin for Tegbis. The Elements get themselves 14-12. tell you what, this has been some interesting casting. That's one way of putting it. Just taking it chill, enjoying ourselves. One of the interesting things about the game is just obviously not really knowing any of these players. If that is the Hooch, I don't think it is the Hooch. I think it's just a similar name. But it's always interesting to see just how people are going to play it. Effectively, it feels like a bit of a messy environment at times on both these teams. I think that's a fair way of describing it. Becoming a heavy part of the round, nades raining right underneath it, meaning life's a little difficult. Zabay thought he could beat the corner, but no, instantly met by Elian and this AWP just holding deeply down into A main. They considered wrapping highway, but that's off the table too. I mean, you've got Zoma, they're just spotting for that, so the B site really is your only option at this point to see if you can collapse onto it, catch them by surprise. You haven't broke the vent just yet, so the sound cue isn't dead obvious, but once they go for that at this point, okay, now they know sort of thing. That's the sort of moment that kicks in for them. Flash is good, but Hardwell landing his shots, finds the head of Kree. Nickelback hasn't been able to pick up anyone on the cross just yet. The nade's being thrown towards CT, allows for the cross. Hooch is dangerously low and decides to swing anyway. The same goes for Zoma. Shot after shot. Nickelback gonna drop on down, tries to spin back around and find the 180, but he's over encumbered. And it all comes down to Elian and Artem's son. An initial shot to be missed, meaning Elian has to land a flick, but it will not come through. Nova Esports, match point. All down by one man and one man alone as he finds a triple kill to carry his team through blood, sweat and tears to round 15. Nickelback taking down Tegbis, already stepping things out in a bit of a positive light for Elements. Being done as well as they boost over on towards mid. Elliot while doing some damage, Pixel nearly being overwhelmed, but surviving just for now. It's tough 2v3, it's little HP to spare. Fair play though to Zabay, I mean, just pushing and pushing through this round. Splitting up. 1-on-1. That's the attitude from Elements. Be interesting to see if it actually works or not, and kind of just what Hooch can do, what Kree can do. Okay, the rotation's already coming through now, so it really is go time for these two guys. Smoke covering the cross, but Hooch is just going to spray through the smoke anyway. That's the bomb dropped at this point. They're going to go for it, but little time to spare. Means that Kree can just blow his head right off, and Elements can keep the dream alive. 15-13. The money of Nova means that we should be going down to our final round in this game to decide if it's overtime or victory. These pistols not really scraping any sort of dent into the side of Elements, just sitting idly by. Crimson. Gonna hit the deck, and this is what it boils down to. No warp in play for Nova. It is just going to be the rifles and the UMPs. 3 AKs to be precise and 2 UMPs. For Elements, it's an AK, 3 M4s, and 1 AWP. Not half bad. Nova, they also have full utility, bear in mind. They have everything they need. I don't think there's much more they could really argue is 100% required in the round. Looks like they actually have a set idea of what they're going to do here as well, which is just hit out towards A. What's curious is Elements are double taking in towards A main, so this could get messy. Hardwell making it work there with a double kill. That's huge. Elliot about to be overwhelmed. The rifles collapse on towards A, making it a 3v2 with the bomb to go down, and with smokes still in play. This could be a retake that is impossible. It comes down to these initial contact. Right now left blind, but still pushing on up. Playing together, but I said this will come down to the contact, and I desperately mean it. I mean, if they can't find Tekbis or Artemson, they're definitely not going to force picks into P. That should be a given. And even then, the trading game is just so strong. 16-14 is going to be the final scoreline. Nova Esports take the map. And there you have it, folks. What I believe is our final map of the night. Of the Bets.net Challenger Series. It's been a pretty interesting one. We've seen some new teams, seen some new players. Hopefully, as the kind of Swiss bracket stuff begins to take shape, we can start to get an idea of kind of what people can do, and that will kind of help make things a little bit more of the informal side of things. Also, we just do a bit digging into the players as well, so that'll definitely be interesting. But until then, guys, we will see you when we see you.